Before we continue, hit the subscribe button. Bright minds.
Africa is the world's second largest continent. Africa is home to more than 1.46 billion people, or 18% of all inhabitants on the planet. Africa is made up of 54 countries. Africa is the youngest continent overall. These nations have made enormous strides in their economic development. In this video, we'll examine the wealthiest countries in Africa based on their gross domestic product, GDP, which measures a nation's ability to develop economically over a given period of time, typically 1 year. In this video we'll look at the top 10 richest countries in Africa and examine some of the key factors that have contributed to their success. Although GDP is only one measure of economic health, it is an interesting place to start when analyzing the state of the African economy. Welcome back to Bright Minds, to get top trending culture and information. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, get comfortable as we discover. Number 10. Tanzania. Tanzania is a rapidly developing nation in Africa. Tanzania's economy has grown significantly. In recent years, Tanzania has also been one of the peaceful nations in. The tourist industry in Tanzania has played a major role in the economy. As Tanzania is among the top 10 destinations in Africa and is among the main producer of diamond in Africa. Tanzania's GDP is currently $68 billion. Number 9. Ivory Coast. The third richest nation in West Africa is Ivory Coast, with a $70.5 billion GDP each year, is among the African nations with the quickest rates of growth. Ghana is the world's second largest producer of cocoa after Ivory Coast. Other significant exports from the Ivory Coast are coffee and palm oil. Number 8. Ghana. There are 33 million people living in Ghana. Ghana has abundant natural resources that are greatly sustained. Ghana is the world's second largest cocoa producer, behind Ivory Coast. Ghana also exports a significant amount of oil and gold. Ghana's GDP is now $79 billion. Number 7. Kenya. Having a $110 billion GDP annually, Kenya is the wealthiest nation in East Africa, and its citizens are the main drivers of the country's economy. Kenya is not endowed with abundant natural resources, such as oil, gold, or diamonds, yet Kenyans are renowned for their extreme diligence. Thus, the largest contributors to technology, business, and agriculture are. Kenya's economic situation. Kenya's economy is also significantly supported by tourism, as the country is the most popular safari destination in Africa. Number 6. Ethiopia. If you're thinking about traveling to the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia is a place you should consider going. It has the best honey and coffee, which makes sense since Ethiopia is where coffee was discovered. Ethiopia is also undergoing massive economic growth, as evidenced by the enormous infrastructure development in the capital city. Among the main drivers of Ethiopia's economy are the manufacturing, tourism, and agricultural sectors. Ethiopia's top exports are oilseeds, leather goods, and coffee. Ethiopia's GDP is currently $111.5 billion. USD. Number 5. Morocco. Morocco endured a severe drought for many years, but with the start of the 21st century, the nation began to experience A stable economy with a $143 billion yearly GDP. Morocco is the world's third-largest exporter of phosphorus. It also exports raw minerals and inorganic compounds, electric component and petroleum product. Number 4. Algeria. Algeria, the largest country in Africa by land area, is a northern African nation that has seen significant economic growth in recent years and is currently ranked as the fourth richest nation in the continent. Possesses substantial gas reserves in Africa and is among the global leaders in natural gas exports. Algeria's GDP is at $224.10 billion. Number 3. South Africa, with $421 billion. South Africa is the third richest country in Africa, with an estimated annual GDP of $421 billion. The country is rich in natural resources, ranking among the top exporters of gold, coal, iron ore, and platinum. It is also the most visited country in Africa, and the tourism industry has helped the country's economy. Number 2. Nigeria. Nigeria is the second richest nation in Africa. It has abundant natural resources and is one of the continent's top oil exporters. Other exports that boost Nigeria's economy are natural gas and limestone. Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa, home to 225 million people, making it the sixth most populous country worldwide. Nigeria's economy is significantly impacted by its massive population. With an estimated $440 billion in GDP annually. Number 1. Egypt, with $477 billion. Egypt is the most visited country in Africa because of its rich historical legacy and popular tourist destinations like the Valley of the Kings and the Pyramids of Giza. And one of the main contributors to tourism is the Egyptian Museum. The generation of gas is another important source of money for Egypt's economy. It has had a favorable effect on the economy of the nation, with an estimated $477 billion in GDP annually. Egypt is the wealthiest nation in Africa.